Warlords under siege. Is it worth a buy? Let's read the words of the developer. Warlords under siege is a mix of real-time strategy and roguelike genre, where you build a small city and defend it against continuous waves of enemies. Improve your assortment of weapons with each playthrough, unlocking possibilities to beat the ever-increasing threat. Still in early access this, guys, but it's a great fun, really good fun. It's like a simplistic kind of game, but it is quite freaking brutal at the same time. Essentially, you have a map with icons on it. The icons, you can put buildings on them, you can put walls on them, you can put towers on them, or you can put mines on them, essentially. And there's a separate one as well for foresting and stone. And what you have to do, you take the raw resources that you get from the wood, the stone and all of that, and you can refine it in blacksmiths. But essentially you're using it to build freaking huge walls, and you want them walls reinforced from wood to stone to double stone. You want towers with arches in it. You want as many units as you can possibly get by building your farms up. And you're going to need all this because waves of ever-increasing tough enemies are going to start hitting your walls. And you have a hero, guys. We all need a hero. You have a hero who has pretty decent damage, actually pretty good damage. You can buff him through cards because this is a card game, guys. You start off with basic cards like level 1 farm, level 1 turret, well, tower, level 1 walls, you know, a little bit of a buff to your hero. Maybe he's an archery place where you can train archers, and a place where you can train soldiers, and that's pretty much it. Like, but as you play the game, and there's 3 different maps on this, on the first map you will earn 120 gold pieces a minute. So for every minute you stay alive, you're earning cash. When you'll eventually die, and you will because the enemies just get so tough and there's so freaking many of them, when they get to your keep and level it, the game is over. But you keep all the gold and you buy perks. You go to the town hall page and you can buy stuff like getting extra iron, getting extra wood, getting extra stone, having harder towers so they've got better hit points. Your archers might do a bit more damage, a bit of a buff to your hero and all of that stuff. But also you get to buy packs of cards that start off reasonably cheap, but then as every time you buy a pack of cards, they get more expensive. Each card pack has 3 cards in it that you will actually get into your big main deck. Now what you then do is you build a special deck that you use. So it's like you have all the cards that you buy, they get put in a big pool that you own, but you can thin them down, take out the ones you don't really want. You can choose your 6 starting cards that you'll always have, and then the rest go into a deck. And when the game starts, every minute or so you will be given a card from your deck, and then you can do whatever is on that card. So for example, if that card says wall thickness 2, you can then build wall thickness 2. Now obviously the more cards you put in your deck, well, the more diluted your deck becomes, and the good cards that you really need, they ain't going to be coming up that often. And that means you could be severely freaking gimped in the game, because you might need wall thickness 2 and it may not come until your walls is f***ed and your whole base is overrun. So you've got to kind of be a bit of a shrewd kind of deck creator and put the really important stuff in, which adds to the game as well, because it's quite kind of RNG screws you basically. But it is quite exciting as you're desperately trying to get an upgrade to your towers and to your walls and all that. I've played it for, I'm sort of about a quarter of the way through the game. I wouldn't say I'm any further on than that, and I bloody well love it, guys. And this is just the early access version of it. I have no idea how much it costs because it doesn't come out until the 2nd, but and I don't know if it's the 2nd when you're watching this, but it's actually the 26th when I'm recording it, because I've got plumbers coming. My waterworks need all redoing, guys. But it is definitely worth a buy. I'm going to have a ton of fun with this. I'm going to stream it often as well. It's one of them games that's just freaking fun to play. So there you go, guys. It's early access. Warlords Under Siege is definitely worth a buy. I think it's going to be a good one when it's finished. So far, so good.